Good evening, everybody. It's been a very hectic and busy week. Work has been getting busier and busier, but we don't have a lot of people, so um, locations like mine, I have no help. I deal with anywhere in between 45 and 55 people a day in a very short period of time because they all seem to come in at once. Literally, they all seem to not like it used to be where it was like a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, and maybe I'll get 40 people, 40, 42 people. No, it's like termites crawling out of a dead house. I mean, they just like all at once. And I tell you, the only hard part about doing that is the factor of running out of, you know, I've got backup food in my cooler and whatnot, but not having, I mean, it's literally, I have to go, hey, you guys gonna have to hold on. I have to replenish the rice or the chicken or the salad bar. Just give me a moment. You know, literally, I don't get any time to replenish it with and take a breather. So a lot of times I come home and I am dead. I mean, literally, I come home and I go, Jerry, if you want to cuddle, that's fine and dandy, but try to make sure I don't fall asleep because I am dog tired. I mean, when I first started, I knew that Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays were going to be busy. No, it's kind of changed. It's like any given day could be busy. I mean, even on the days where I get a chance to take a breather and replenish my salads and whatnot, I still do 40 plus people. Now, Monday, Tuesday, and today, I did over 50. I did like 52, 53 people. And normally I don't mind the number of people, but when they just come in one giant grove, it's like, okay, yay, you know. And what was really bad about this week is I don't know if it was misorders or not enough orders or what. For the yeah, for the better half of the week, I had no cucumbers until Wednesday. I had no chickpeas at all the whole week. No, I take that back. I did have enough chickpeas Monday or Tuesday to make hummus. But it was like everybody was running out of food and they were calling us up going, hey, do you have any, can you spare any of this or can you spare any of that? Blah, 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 blah. And it was going to them. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? Well, not to complain, but when the catering people who do the big catering events have multiple catering events going on in the same time frame or the same week, they focus on ordering what they need for those catering events and don't order enough for the rest of us. Which I mean, I don't mind that they need food and whatnot, and we order it for them because it comes out of our kitchen anyhow. But when you're not making sure that there's equal amounts of catering supplies and supplies for everybody else, it becomes a free for all. And it becomes one of those, okay, can't use that because it's marked for catering, can't use that because it's marked for catering, and there's not enough of what I can need to make all my salads or my tzatziki sauce. That was the first thing of this week that kind of caused me to go, oh God, why? The other thing was Jerry started having cramps or pains in her leg, and well, they focused on the knee because that seems to be where the bulk of the pain was. My thing is, though, her whole leg has got a problem. And if she's doing the wrong thing or spending too much time sitting up or positioned in the wrong way with or without that brace, it's compressing on the lower part of her body. Because even if she were to like sit up with the brace on, the brace and most of her body compresses into her hips, which compresses into her leg. Well, they examined the knee area because that's where she said the pain was localized. Knowing her history, and they should have known it just as good as I do, that her upper femur had a tumor which shrank, causing the bone to collapse and crack to fill in the gap or void that the shrinking tumor was causing. And because that alone could be pressing the wrong way on her nerves and they're shooting down to her knee, and the pain she might not feel up here on the upper hip, but she could definitely be feeling it in her knee. But they took x-rays yesterday and they said, oh no, everything looks fine. I learned a lesson from my cousin Michelle before she passed away. Or actually after she passed away. She was having issues with aches and pains and whatnot. Well, the one doctor gave her a basic exam, ruled it as just fatigue, overworked. It wasn't until they had to rush her to the hospital that a second doctor said, oh, yes, she has cancer in the bones. That gave her husband and the rest of the family the ability to sue the first doctor for malpractice, for not giving my cousin full diagnostics. Sounds like a car, but I have no other word for it. I know Jerry's history. I know what's been going on lately. And if that upper femur is the problem that she's having right now, is the cause of that problem, and they don't take care of it and things get worse, one, I'm going to get a different. I'm going to want a different doctor. I want a second opinion. And two, if that second opinion basically tells me and my family that, yeah, if the first group of doctors had taken care of that upper part fast enough, it wouldn't be that bad. And I'm going to look at that second doctor and go, okay, does that give me the power to, sue for malpractice? Not that I wanted to go suing people, but under this situation, yeah. Especially if it does become part of the cause of her. God forbid it happens anytime soon. Knock on wood, to basically not be with me anymore. No, I'm not looking for such an event. Not for at least. What did we promise ourselves? What did we promise each other? We'd be together until we were in our 70s. Because both of us have family history of dying before a certain age. That's why when we got married, 22, well, it won't be 22 years until August, but 21 and some months, we promised each other, we'd be married until we're at least 75 to 80 years old. After that, all bets are off. Reminds me of something else that happened before I even thought I was ever going to get married. But I'll tell you that joke in a second. But yeah, I mean, I had to run home early yesterday because I was already going to be leaving at 1 o'clock because of the doctor's appointment, but I left early because after talking to her doctors and whatnot, they wanted her to come in as soon as possible for x-rays. So she set it up for noon and then tried to call the office where I work, and nobody was in there because Thursday's inventory day. Oh, yay. Having to count everything and do all the inventory and all that fun jazz. Um, and then she sent me a text message, actually three text messages in a row about, I tried to call the office to talk to you about coming home early, but nobody was there. Then the next one was, since it seems like nobody's gotten a message yet, can you try to come home as soon as possible? And of course, the way she made things sound, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but the way she made things sound in her text message, I just kind of went, oh crap, I should be, I need to go. Because like I'm hurting, I need you, blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh, okay. Of course, I went to my supervisor and said, look, I don't know what's going on. My wife sent me this message. She tried to call here, nobody answered. She's not doing very good. She's hurting. She's in pain. She needs to go get X-rays and something done for her leg because it's hurting her. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. And I gave him the key, and I really didn't like doing that because it's like, oh man, but family. I've always put family first. I've always put family above my job. Because the way I was raised, it was God, family, job, or everything else. The only two important things that I was taught was basically God and family. You know, and that's the way I've lived all my life. You know, granted, I didn't always do the Christian thing, but I still, there was always something above everything. And family was right below that. Whether you want to say God, Yahweh, Muhammad, Moses, Zeus, Odin, whatever. Um, Zeus is Roman. Who is Greek? Who is the high of Greek mythology? Or was Zeus Greek mythology and Roman mythology had somebody else? I don't remember. That's mythology. All the different mythologies, but still, you get the point. Um, so we did that yesterday, and that was a full day. It was basically a full afternoon. I don't think we got home until close to 6:30 ish. Um, Speaking about that, what time is it? Ooh, is it almost 6:30? It's just like today. Well, I was there today, and we got busy today, and I ran out of all the one main dish. Almost ran out of the second main dish. Ran out of several different components for the different salads, and I come home and I'm just like, okay. Actually, I get off work and Jared's like, leaves me a message saying, can you run up to the doctor's office and get the paperwork that we've been waiting for being sent from the other doctor's office? So she's got paperwork that she's working with her and her sister-in-law to get SSI benefits for basically being disabled and has cancer. So we've been working on that, trying to work with her sister-in-law in New York who has legal jargon and whatnot up there that she knows. And then they're supposed to, I think it's Monday or something like that. I forgot what day it is. During the daytime while I'm at work, the three of them are supposed to get on, or the two of them are supposed to get on a phone with a three-way conversation with the SSI office here in Missouri. And part of me is like, well, if they can't get Missouri to see the legality of it and the fact that Jerry needs it, I don't know what the next step is going to be, except for maybe move to a state that that understands what Jerry's going through and gives her the SSI that she needs. If it's not SSI, I hopefully SSD, was it DI? SDI? No, SSDI. Social Security Disability Insurance, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know all that stuff, so I just kind of go, hey, whatever. Of course, it shouldn't be whatever. It should be like, okay, what do I need to do? Well, I did what I needed to do. I ran up to the doctor's office, got the 32-page fax from the other doctor, the eye doctor, basically, to say that she's legally blind and can't really drive, which I know Jerry doesn't like that idea, and whatever. But yeah. Then after that, just I had to go to the post office. She had 2 boxes and a whole bunch of get well cards. And then of course I went to partially because I was hungry and partially because I wanted to get it for Jerry. Is I went to Arby's and I got myself a small roast beef sandwich and a Jamocha shake. Which the Jamocha shake was for her, the sandwich was for me, and I need to get off this pretty soon so I can cook. We're having leftovers because we had while we were out running around last night, we used a gift card for some food for dinner for our dinner. Um, but um, actually, you know what? While I'm on here, I'm gonna give a shout out. We had one friend or one viewer of Jerry's send a gift card or a card to Jerry with a Visa gift card. Don't remember how much is on it, and a Starbucks gift card, which I don't know how much was on it, and then another envelope that I had to go to the post office to pick up because whoever was trying to deliver it didn't use the right door or did not use the. That's right. Jerry said that she heard the doorbell but couldn't do nothing about it. Mom was out doing her hair, so they left a little, come to the post office and pick up your package thingy. So I did that the earlier this week, and it was really not really a big package, but a big envelope um, for Jerry from all her family. Well, yeah, I think just about every family member in New York. Um, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, Lucky and Liz. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law, Alicia and John, and then sister-in-laws, Janie and Kathy, um, several other different family members. I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't remember. I don't remember all her family. She's got a good sized family, and I'm doing good just to remember my family. Um, but they all got together and purchased a number of different gift cards. Gift cards to Aldi and Walmart and Applebee's and IHOP and Dickies. Basically, gift cards for places that they have in New York that we have here in Rolla. And I know the amount. I know the exact number of money that they spent to get these gift cards, and I'm not going to say how much it was, but let me just say this much. Not only did it surprise me, but it surprised Jerry. Now, Jerry was forewarned that they were going to do, they were going to send her a couple gift cards. We weren't thinking about like the allotment that we got. We were thinking like, okay, we'll probably get, gift card for this restaurant and gift card for that restaurant, maybe a gift card for Walmart or something like that. But I was floored to see the number of gift cards and then adding them up going, I don't even know how to thank them. I really don't. I mean, I try to thank them with, I, I'm, I have no words. I mean, it's like it's beyond my. Let's just say that I cannot do enough or say enough to thank them for their generosity. I really can't. Now I know this is, to some people this might be too much, but to me as somebody who's family oriented, plus Jerry, because they are her family, but it's just like this is what family does for family when they can't be there to help out. They try to help out some other way. Now I'm pretty sure if the foot, the shoe was on the other foot, and it was me with cancer, um, what my family could afford, they might, they might do the same thing with what they could afford. But I would not expect, Jerry and I did not expect them to do what they did. But if I had cancer, I wouldn't expect anything because, well, in these times, money is tight for, excuse me, for a lot of people, and they did what they did out of the goodness of their heart, and I appreciate it wholeheartedly. Um, yes, I will say that in the beginning we had problems. All right, I had problems, um, but my sister in laws, my in laws, basically, we don't we well we all have our differences, and I have not spent a lot of time with them even when we were there. So I mean, I spent time with her brother or brothers when both of them were alive, and her sisters, except for maybe Julie, because she couldn't always get out to New York for Thanksgiving or Christmas. But I mean, the last the last Christmas that I can remember, the lot of us being together in our her father's house, basically. Um, After years of living with them, I finally got the well, I'm gonna say the balls to basically be as sarcastic as they can be, especially with my the older brother, Lucky Pete, basically, because he made a comment of weighing himself and seeing that he lost some weight, and I just jabbed him back by going, "Oh, is that what I heard upstairs? Your scale telling you to get the heck off?" And everybody was like, "What? Did he really say that?" But it was a good day. I mean, I thought it was a good day, even though Pops wasn't with us because he had passed away like the year before. No, yeah, the year before, I think it was. I think it was our first Christmas or Thanksgiving. Yeah, it was our first Thanksgiving together without him. So it was kind of like one of those like surreal type deals. Um, but when we were up there for Robert's funeral, um, we were all very um, well, for them, I'm pretty sure they were all kind of like taken back and just not in the in the joking mood. Even though we did, conversations were okay. I mean, they were brief, but they were okay. Of course, I think that's the day I introduced the nephews because they were all old enough to drink to mead because they're like, oh yeah, we've had mead. I'm like, no, have you had mead? They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, try this. It was stuff that I can buy up here, and they were like, this is stronger and much better than the stuff we have here. And they took me over to the liquor store because we ran out, and I bought a bottle, and we took it back, and I had a sip, and I'm like, what is this, water? And they're like, yeah, that's what we got here. And I'm like, oh, this is shit. And that's because it had no bite, and tastes like water to me. But I was going to try to send the nephew Joseph, because he seemed to be more interested in it than anybody else, and I was going to send him a bottle from here um, of the good stuff for his birthday, but he passed away earlier in the year from COVID, basically. And I feel sorry. I mean, it really hurts to lose your son, let alone a sibling. But to outlive your own kids is one thing. Anyhow, um, I have I have had a good week. A little tough at times, but it was a good week. Weekend, we haven't taken down the Christmas tree. We're finally going to take it down this weekend. I know several people who have not taken it down and just decorated. Took the decorations off, but didn't take the tree down and just decorated the tree with like Valentine's type decor. So hey, each their own. I mean, if you got an artificial tree, what's the purpose of taking it down just to put it back up within 12 months? You know, but I know my mom would probably like it to be down, and my wife would like it to be down so she can decorate for the other holidays. That and the fact that it's sitting in front of the Arcadia door, so it blocks a lot of stuff, a lot of views, sunlight to warm up the house, things of that nature. Um, Hopefully, we get to do it soon, like tomorrow. um, Jerry got some friend mail today, which you'll be able to see on her channel. One of the things she got in her friend mail that I was like, "This is mine," was a little gnome. That I don't know if they made it or not, but it's a little gnome with a pinkish reddish colored gnome hat with hearts on it, and I was like, "Okay, I want this." I'm gonna get to the point where I'm gonna go, "Where am I putting all my gnomes?" Of course, one of them is missing. I have one that we made or Jerry made for me, and the hats are interchangeable for the different holidays. So I'm like, I gotta find him and his hats. But I gotta clean up this room still. I have not. I barely got my desk done, and all of a sudden I'm cluttering it up with books and gnomes and things of that nature that either Jerry got me. I mean, I've got a St. Patrick's gnome, I've got a Valentine's gnome, I've got a chef gnome. If I can find the other guy with the interchangeable hats, I've got a seasonal gnome, you know. And I gotta clean up the room so I can decide what I'm doing with them. I got my tree gnome here. You know, a lot of things I gotta clean up and decide what to do. And one of these weekends, even if Jerry's just going along for the ride, I want to run back up to Springfield to that store and get some more candles and see if they've got any other interesting books that I might be interested in to read. But one of the things that has been discussed about lately between me and Jerry is me probably going and getting a part-time job, so I'm not working as many hours as I am now for two different reasons. One, so I'm not always worn out, and two, so I can be here home more to help her when she needs it. Um, that and the factor, I think part of it, and I don't blame her. I really don't blame her, because if I was in the same position, I'd probably want the same thing. But I don't know, maybe I'd want something totally opposite. But because of her declining health, and then yes, it is kind of decline. It's a roller coaster right now. It's a roller coaster. But every so often she gets that, I want you to be home more so I can spend more time, so we can spend more time together before. And I'm like, I understand what you're saying. You don't need to say anything. I've thought about it myself. Problem is, until we can get enough money coming into the house to pay our current bills and whatnot, I don't see how it's going to happen unless I can get a part time job that's paying me over $12.50 an hour. It'd be nice if I can get one of these jobs that's paying me, 13, 14, $13, $14 an hour. Um, if that place, I think it's called McAllister's, it's a delicatessen of sorts, opens up and I apply for it and they see my credentials from New York, they're probably going to be like, how much would you like an hour? And if somebody ever says that to me, I'll be like, well, 14, 15 an hour would be perfect. I just don't want to work full time. You know. And if they say, well, why don't you want to work full time? I'll be like, because I have a wife with cancer and I need to be home more because we don't have, our insurance will not cover home health aid person right now. It would be out of pocket. So it'd be easier for me to just be home more than paying somebody who knows how much a month or a paycheck or whatever. you know, because I've talked to Jerry about, we had a thought about having a cleaning crew to come in and help us declutter and clean up the rooms. And she said no. And I said, well, okay, well, how about when we get the rooms decluttered, we hire somebody to do like the kitchen, living room, bathrooms. They don't have to do any of the other rooms because they're still being worked on. No, can't afford it. I already knew we couldn't afford home health aid. That's I don't know how much they are an hour, but I wish I had the information for the people who on her channel said that they would be willing to do it, but that information was either rejected or removed, or I don't know what she did with it. But because I'm like, I'm not thinking about just myself. I'm thinking about, you know, mom can't do everything. What happens if you fall? What happens if you hurt yourself? Mom can't help you up off the floor. Mom couldn't help you up, you know. Mom would have to call 911. I'm pretty sure with, if I remember right, there was two ladies who were both of them were either CNAs or had something to do with, definitely had something to do with medical, and they lived locally. Well, they lived in Missouri, put it that way, and they were willing to travel, um, and they were willing to do it for free. And I was like, okay. And then there's another person who offered to be a home, well, basically do everything, home health aid, clean, those kind of things. And I just went, all right. I saw the information. Let's talk to Jerry. And I talked to Jerry, and she was like, no. And it wasn't until recently when I thought about it again when I said, Jerry, whatever happened to talking about these people who are offering to help you for free that are medical? And she basically explained it to me this way. The reason why she doesn't want to do it is because of the fact that when they're working their regular jobs, if they get hurt, they get compensation for it. They get, I forget what it's called, but if they get hurt working off the clock or off their regular job or whatnot, and they're working in the house for free and they get hurt, it's out of our pocket. And I was like, okay, I didn't know that. Don't understand that stuff. So, but still, I'm like, okay. But anyhow, I've already apologized. I've tried. Yeah, All right, I am going to go ahead and get off because I have to see what Jerry wants for dinner, make that for her, make my heat up my leftovers. I gotta check on mom because I haven't heard nothing from her for a while, and I'm worried. So I am going to sign off. So if you enjoyed this little chat, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments about this video, go ahead and put it on the video, or go ahead and put it in the comment section. If you're new to my channel and want to hear more, which is your choice, and if you do decide to make that choice, you just click on the subscribe button, and then the little bell that will pop up, you click on that, and YouTube will let you know when I put in my next video. Until next time, you guys have a good day. Enjoy. Bye.